So I've been on and off recording, kind of talking about nothing at all, really, just getting some thoughts out there. This is what I want to talk more about. Some of the happy things that have happened. I know some of the stuff is kind of not really heavy, but more deep. I like thinking like that. I like this and how it makes me think about all this stuff, and I can sort of alleviate some of that pressure of me thinking about it often. Like when I'm laying down in bed and my mind snaps over something, and I'm like, damn, that did happen, huh? But I just I've gotten really lucky to know all the friends that I have. Most of them I'm still friends with, and some of them I'm not. And growing up where I was in Houston, I mentioned before in one cast that I had a friend who lived on the street whose house had burned down, and his excuse me, hiccups. His name was Nick. I was pretty good friends with him. We were close. Not super close, but we were close enough to where I stayed over at his house and he stayed over at mine a few times. My house was not really the place anyone wanted to sleep over at because my mom wasn't really fun. There was nothing fun to do at my place. It was always fun at other people's place. So it wasn't until I got in, like high school where people started hanging at my place or middle school. Nick was the first close friend I had. And it's funny, none of my close friends went to the same school as me, really, at this time. And Nick moved away after his house, had burned, and that's a shame. Another person in my neighborhood, a lot of these first ones are neighborhood friends. His name was Jan, and I knew his friend, I knew his cousin Andre, and they were Russian, and they were pretty chill. Jan was one of my best bros. To this day, he still owes me $1 for beating the Goron race in Majora's Mask for him, but he doesn't remember me, and he probably won't hold me up to that. We played a lot of video games together. I was over at his house a lot. We played Yu-Gi-Oh! Together, Beyblade, stuff like that. I was huge into Beyblades. I skateboarded with his cousin Andre, and Andre was better than me. He did a bunch of cool shit, and I was just not as good, but we had fun. This was around when I was 11 or 12 or so. Then the street over was my friend Zach. And now Zach was where I stopped being a shitty friend because I didn't really know how to be a good friend to somebody. I just hung out with him, and he had this computer that had a shitty dirt bike game on it or something, and it was in the, I don't know, we played, I went over there and played that or gameplay, and then one day he was like, I'm just coming over to play these games, right? And I'm like, no, I guess not. And I kind of was, but on the other hand, I didn't really know what to do. There was nothing I didn't really know. He was into soccer, I know that, and I just wasn't. I'm not good at sports. So we ended up playing lots of card games and doing a bunch of nerd shit together. We did lots of Yu-Gi-Oh, some Magic. I was more into it than he was. I was into Yu-Gi-Oh. We were into Beyblades. He had a trampoline. We did that a lot. We did a lot of sword fighting with sticks we found on the ground. We pretend like we were samurai or something and fucking have a sword fight. And we got hurt a lot. One time he almost broke his finger, and his mom put a stop to that real fucking quick. And it was his family. He was homeschooled and sort of religious, and I was introduced to religion, but not to that extent. And I guess I just outgrew him, sort of, and that becomes apparent later on. But he was one of my close friends for a long time, and I really enjoyed going over there and spending time with him and shit. It was this is before I like knew I didn't like before I used phones to like call people. I don't call people. It was like I just go outside and fucking have a good time. My everyone's punishment for like everyone's punishment now would be like no computer, all that stuff, and it's like go outside, do all that, but that's what I did. I'd go outside and like either I just ride my bike around and like explore, but I basically learned the city of Houston like the back of my hand and my area just from how much I've ridden my bike around, and like I know these streets and like I know where to go. I know how long it's gonna take for me to get there on bike. I know how long it takes me to get there in car, all that stuff. But I had this experience really young. But so that's that. There were the twins, my friends that were twins, Tristan and Sebastian. It's very doubtful if any one of them is listening to this, so should have say their names, not their last names, because no one's gonna fucking know. They were pretty close. They were younger than me, kind of little shits, but they grew up and they grew into pretty good people. We were all little shits though. I was kind of an asshole, but it's largely because I didn't know how to act. So after I had stopped talking to most of them in like middle school, because they were still elementary school when I was in middle school, I got a new group of friends, and this one is the group that largely defined who I am now, which is funny because it was like usually it's the friends in like high school, but I don't feel like I changed much between the two, between middle and high school, and even from high school till now, I don't feel like I changed too much. I have, but like it's less of like it's more that I know what not to do now. Like I've learned lessons. It's not like I've changed my personality hugely. I've always been sort of, when I was a kid I was hyper, and I think at one point I sliced my finger open really deep. It was not really my finger, it's my palm, and I sliced it really deep, and then from then on I just feel like I've been more laid back, but whether that's subconsciously or consciously I don't know. But anyways, my first girlfriends around this time, a lot of friends in the same area, too many to name, to be honest. It was a neighborhood full of kids, we hung out, we all had kid relationships, like not like romantic, but we all had relationships with each other. People were more friends with them, less friends with you, or you're more friends with somebody else. They didn't like somebody sometimes. But I met this guy named John, and this dude John, I remember one of my earliest memories was we were in the bus, and he had his laptop. They were in the back watching like porn or something, maybe, just like fucking, oh look at that, ha ha ha, they're just kids, like, fucking 8th, 9th grade kids being fucking kids, being little shits. I don't know what he was doing. I don't remember. And we became good friends. It was more of like bus. It was less friends in school, and like on the bus rides, we'd see each other. We'd all hang out in the back of the bus and like be little hooligans, hellraisers. And that was my first encounter with John. keep that name in mind. He's a big one later. And so in ninth grade, I went to a different school. Of course, duh. But I went to a different school than what most people went to. I went to this other, you higher education schools, Carnegie Vanguard. It's you get college credit for being in that school. Like colleges are more willing to accept you when you get a bunch of shit. And I completely squandered that opportunity because I'm a little fuck. But I met a lot of people there. Most people I met there I'm not in contact with anymore. By their means or mine. One of the two. I met my friend Oren, who's the one who introduced me to a bunch of stuff. All my music now, but he's my guitarist friend that I mentioned before. He's the one I met, and also, he's a big influence. But that's around this time is also when I started taking buses back, and once I got out of Carnegie, I went to the high school. I went to the public high school in Westbury. And that's where I got back in touch with John. And it was just we were old friends again, just chilling, fucking shitting around. We eventually got closer, and we're like brothers now. He's my brother, basically. Just like the other dude I met in same high school, Chris. Brothers. I lived with him for fucking 5 years. How are we not brothers, Maybe even 6 years. It was a long time. I lived with him a very long time. Not 6. Nah, it was less than, I don't know. It feels like longer, We've known each other since at least 2000. We've known each other for a decade now, Me, Chris, and John, basically the trio. There's other friends, but those ones that shaped my life a lot. I spent so much time with them, and we have so many jokes on the inside. And I know everyone has some. People have someone like that, but they're family, and it's kind of funny looking at it now. If I were to go back to myself back then and be dog, you've got 3 super close people. I wouldn't have believed them because it's not whether people grow away from one way or another. One of my best friends, Josh, we were huge nerds together. Is what I mentioned. We play Final Fantasy together and stuff. And we're distant now, but it's not. And it's not really. I don't know. I just did. Neither of us put forth the effort to anchor something down to me. It's always. Yeah, we should get up and hang out and do this. Yeah, give me your number, dude. All that stuff, and stayed in contact. But I don't know. I'm a shitlord. I don't do anything. One of my other friends from high school, Jacob, who was a huge. He's actually I don't give off. I'm not very charismatic, or not charismatic. I don't have a lot of self-esteem, and that comes from years of bullying. But Jacob kind of brought that out a little bit. Jacob was the most cocky asshole you could ever fucking meet in 11th grade, and he moved away around 11th grade, maybe 12th, and he was the most charismatic, cocky asshole. He did a bunch of shit that no one on earth should get away with doing, ever. I don't... the amount of shit jokes he's pulled, pranks he's done, because he was tiny too. He was small. I was 6'2" in high school. He was 4'11". He was fucking tiny, but he had the charisma. He had the charisma. He had the attitude. He had the self-esteem, the confidence, and he also was really fucking good at martial arts. And I think that's what tied it all together. That's what let him be an asshole. is that he knows he can handle himself. And like, I became friends with him, um, and that was fun. His dad was dating this other guy who worked with my mom, and so it was very easy to like go over there and just be like, "Yeah, I'm going to Jacobs." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." You know, I just like ride my bike over there, maybe go after school. He literally lived across the street from school, so I could just like leave school with him and chill at his house. But he he had an effect on my life that made me think better of myself. Like, wow, if he can do all this, I can fucking get up there and play guitar in front of people. I can do that shit. The fuck? Why couldn't I? And I could talk to that girl. Why couldn't I? Like, he can do it. Fuck yeah. And I didn't really have anything to back myself up with, so I still have a self-esteem issue, very deep rooted. I'm trying to work at it. Step one is acknowledging your faults, right? And trying to get better. It's slowly working, I guess. I'm trying. But he helped a lot. He formed my sense of humor. I was kind of like, not that I didn't have a sense of humor before, but like his sense, like his sense of humor in anime, and like getting me to watch some anime. And he's like, dude, you're gonna like this one, and like, because we would laugh at something, like, you're gonna like this one too. Trust me, this is right up your alley. And it was, and like he knew that shit, and like that was cool. I like that. And he moved away and some other shit, and there was some drama between, typical high school relationship drama, but never held it against him. Just like Josh, kind of drifted apart. I don't talk to him at all. Haven't talked to him in years, since I've graduated. That's, what, 8 years now? He probably remembers me, but he doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, John, he's helped me just be better. Like, I don't know. John's like the nicest dude I've ever met. Him and Chris, to be honest. I've got a lot to look up to, kind of. I hold, I don't know. I think less of myself as a person when I see other people, because they've helped me through so much, and like, I can't. It's not that I don't. It's just that, like, I don't know where to begin paying someone back for that. But you don't, because they're your friends. They do it because you're a friend. But like, I feel like I have an obligation to do that, and it's just because they've helped me. I want to help them. It's not trying to break even. It's just, I want them to know how much they've helped me. It's hard to get that across. I can talk deep with them. Like, I can pull them over for a serious conversation. They'll listen. They'll respond seriously. They can do the same for me. And they'll be like, "Thanks, dude. Like, you're a good friend." It's like, yeah, man, no problem. And like, they're family. They're my brother. Of course, it's gonna be like that. But like, people have done so much for me, and I just want to do that for other people. And I always have this need to be better because of that. And I don't know. I just feel that need every time I think of it. It's just like, yep. Every time I think of my girlfriend and stuff she's done for me, I think, yep, I need to do more. I need to do more and be better. My goal, if I become a musician and start selling stuff, and start making profit, is to take care of friends who are basically my family now. They help bring me there. They're the ones who help me be who I am today, why would I not help them? You know, this went on a lot longer than I thought it would. And a lot of it's just kind of reminiscing. I apologize for that, but friends are good, and I consider a lot of people my friend. A lot of people I would do a lot for, and this podcast group is no exception. A lot of people, no exception to that. Friends just make me happy to be around, happy to exist. I guess that's why we're all good boys.